What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, newly crowned WBO lightweight world champion superstar boxer Keyshawn the Businessman Davis, who is 13 wins, no loss, no draw, 9 wins by way of knockout, 25 years of age, 26 years of age, 5'9" with a 72-inch arm reach. Keyshawn the Businessman Davis has been hot on the presses, to say the least, in his last few fights. He has exceeded the expectations in his last two fights, and people just simply can't accept what he's been able to do. Keyshawn Davis dominated an overweight, big, hard-punching, rough, rugged Gustavo Lemos, dispatched of him in 2 rounds, dropping him 3 times and stopping him, when many people thought it was going to be the toughest test of his career after Gustavo Lemos arguably beat Richardson Africa Hitchens in his last fight. He should have been undefeated. Nonetheless, Keyshawn dominates Gustavo Lemos and knocks him out. But more importantly, he did so in front of his home fans in Norfolk, Virginia, with his sisters singing the national anthem, with his 2 brothers fighting on the undercard, and doing $1 million gate and selling 10,000 tickets, right? In his first headline in Norfolk, Virginia. Then he comes and he fights Dennis Baranchik in New York for his first title opportunity with only 12 fights. Dominates Dennis Baranchik, stops him in the 4th round. After Dennis Baranchik, get this, Gustavo Lemos and Dennis Baranchik was both coming off the best performances of their career. Dennis Baranchik had upset the future Hall of Famer Mexican superstar boxer Emmanuel Navarrete, and Gustavo Lemos arguably beat Richardson Hitchens and should have been a title contender and undefeated. He dominates both these guys. Now he's going to fight the avoided boogeyman at the lightweight division, Dominican star title contender, Edwin Dela Santos, who's 16 wins, 2 losses, no draws, 14 wins by way of knockout, hard-hitting puncher, who many people said that when in his last fight against Shakur Stevenson, had Shakur Stevenson spooked to not engage, and everybody said Shakur ran from him the whole night. Right? That was the headlines. Edwin Dela Santos brutally knocked out Jose El Rayo Venezuela after being floored himself. Now he took time off for injuries. He's been out the ring for 18 months. Now Keyshawn Davis is going to defend his first title defense against Edwin Dela Santos June 7th in his hometown in Norfolk, Virginia, once again. And now people are saying that Keyshawn Davis is cherry-picking Edwin Dela Santos due to his inactivity when Edwin Dela Santos called him out. What other direction is he going to go in? Right? Edwin Dela Santos is not a valuable opponent now? But Tank Davis just kicked the tires on Edwin Dela Santos for his last fight. He ended up choosing Lamont Roach. But Edwin Dela Santos was an opponent that was to be named. Everybody said that Shakur should have rematched him instead of fighting Josh Padley. Now Keyshawn Davis fights him, and Boxing News 24 decides to rip Keyshawn Davis and say that he's cherry-picking inactive Edwin Dela Santos and won't get no credit for it? Is nasty work. And think, he did 10,000 tickets, $1 million gate. That was before he had the newfound stardom that he has now. That was before he was a world champion. And guess what? That was before he fought a guy that people knew. Edwin Dela Santos is a big name. And he fought Shakur Stevenson, and it was the most lackluster performance of Shakur's career, and he had hand injuries. Right? But it was a very, very low output fight. They landed a total of 106 punches combined. right? But Edwin Del Santos, we know, is explosive, exciting, and dangerous, and a southpaw, and big and strong. So Keyshawn won't get credit for fighting and beating Edwin Del Santos is bizarre and disrespectful, to say the very least. With that said, they understand the rise of the stardom that Keyshawn is about to experience, especially if he wins this fight in dominating fashion. If he is to dominate and knock out Edwin De Los Santos in front of his hometown, he becomes the new late, great, legendary, iconic Hall of Fame superstar, Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. And they don't want to see the rise of another black dominant fighter in the sport of boxing. Period. Keyshawn deserved all the credit for taking this fight at 25, 26 years of age with only 13 fights in his first title defense against a southpaw who's hard-hitting, rough, rugged, and explosive. Knock it off. And that's all I got for y'all. Follow me on Instagram at Blueblood Sports TV, all one word. I'm gone. Peace.